You are stressing yourself out more than what you need to. Now, this doesn't mean you're not going to experience these challenges and difficulties and not have times where you may be in lack emotionally, physically, psychologically, spiritually, mentally, or howeverly. But just because you're in those moments, don't mean that they're going to last forever. Nothing in life is going to last forever. So this is how you're going to learn how to manage your stress in 2024 before 2025, because you don't have to wait until next year to do anything in life. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, High Guidance. Let's just get straight into today's video. The first thing you have to do in order for you to manage your stress and not continue to give yourself anxiety is to calm down. It sounds cliche. All of the advice that you Google, when you go to your therapist, when you go to counseling, when you actually evaluate and listen to, is meant for you to apply, and it is real. The reason why it doesn't work is because you are not trying, you're not putting in effort, and you don't believe in it, or maybe you've never been taught. If you've never been taught emotional intelligence, if you've never been taught how to deal with stress, that's fine. I'm speaking from experience. This is what's going to work. When you are dealing with the situation, you do have to calm down. Now, of course, anything you do in life, especially if it's unfamiliar or you're doing it for the first time, takes time. So take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't rush yourself to calm down, but eventually you're going to have to calm down. Why? Because you're going to come up with a solution. The reason why people are stressed out is not the problems that we face, is how we're choosing to handle and react and respond. So for example, if your car breaks down, realistically, in the moment, you can yell, you can cry, you can scream, you can shout. Nobody's invalidating your feelings, right? But now you have to figure out what to do with your car. You see, we go through so many situations in life and we're making it more than what it needs to be. Unless it has anything to do with your physical health or somebody passing away, that's a different topic for a different video and it's more touchy. You still have to overcome those situations, including that. So unless you're dealing with disabilities and somebody passing away, grieving, that takes more time, energy, and effort, but you still have to move forward in life. Right? The goal is not to be stuck and stagnant and to be so overwhelmed that we don't move forward. Speaking from experience, there are certain choices that I made previously in my past, and I didn't have the wisdom, the guidance, and the understanding, and to realize that I had to calm down. And I'm going to recommend everything else that I needed to do, apply it, and move forward. So once you're able to calm down, you have to validate how you feel. Like I said, you could be mad, you could be angry, you could be like, oh my God, I'm on my way to work, I'm going to be late to work, this and this and that, this and this and that, right? Or maybe you don't have the finances immediately, because that's the thing. People are like, well, it's not that easy. Some situations may require more energy and effort, right? But it's like, if you don't have the finances to pay for it in that moment, you can't do anything about it. So making it more problematic than what it needs to be is not going to help you. So validate how you feel. If you don't have the finances to fix your car, you're angry, you're upset, you feel like it's an inconvenience, express that, say that physically, grab a pillow, scream into it, cry, sit down, take a nap, go for a walk. Do whatever you do as long as you're not harming yourself or others. Like, you have to validate these emotions. You can't suppress it. You can't act like, oh, it's not a big deal when it's bothering you. So after you calm down, after you validate your emotions, you have to be present. And being present is going to allow you to problem solve and come up with your solutions. 3 simple steps. 3 simple steps, but of course you have to continue to practice this. So when you're coming up with your solutions, it is advised that you take a moment to yourself. So if, let's just say, you're on the highway and your car breaks down and immediately you're in shock or you feel emotionally unbalanced, walk away from the car. If you're able to, pull your car over to the side, turn on your hazard lights, or sit in the car for a second. Take a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes. Obviously, the better you react and respond, the more immediately you'll be able to fix your problem. But if you feel some type of way, sit in silence. You have to be able to ground yourself, especially if you don't have the assistance, the finances, and the resources to problem solve, to solve your problem. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm so tongue twisted today. Your issue. Sit with yourself. Literally just sit in silence in the car until you feel calm down enough to call your insurance, to call a towing company, to call your job, your family, your friends, to contact anybody. Things are going to happen to us. We're not going to expect it to happen. That is life. I did not make the rules, but as your favorite mental health specialist, I'm here to inform and educate those of you who resonate with these videos and that are in alignment with it. and I'm speaking from experiences. There's been situations that I've been in, and had I would have known that all I had to do was calm down, validate how I feel, and come up with a solution, my problems wouldn't prolong. They wouldn't continue into the next days and the next years. I wouldn't have to dwell on them. So for example, at 20 years old, I got fired from my job. I've never been fired from any job. I've been working since I was 17 up until 20. The first time I got fired, I was so discouraged. I thought it was going to be the end of the world. What I know now at the age of 27 is that I had to end up opening my own business or going to find work somewhere else. Just because you get fired doesn't mean that you have to be homeless or that your life is going to go downhill. But if you don't have the resources and the tools and the guidance, you have to learn those things for yourself. So that's why I make these videos. Apply what is being told to you. We make our problems so much more than what it needs to be. Another example, if you're late on your bills. And this does not mean that you being late on your bills or you not being able to financially pay for things in the moment is not going to affect you, because there is a possibility you may not have nowhere to live. There is a possibility that you may get fired. There are possibilities, but you have to realize this is a bigger situation. So if you cannot solve your problems immediately and it takes more energy and effort, you have to realize the impact it is affecting you. It's a lesson at that point. It's the difference between a problem and a lesson. A problem, most times, is immediately, it's instant, right? It's tangible. Lessons take energy and effort. So if your car breaks down and let's just say you don't have the finances to pay for it immediately, this is teaching you to learn how to become financially literate. It's teaching you how to be prepared for situations. You do not go through these trials and tribulations for no reason. And the more you learn to be aware, the more you can accept why certain things are playing out, the more you can have control over what you have control over. Now, if let's just say you're still on this highway, you get into a car accident and it's not your fault. You wouldn't have known that was going to happen to you until that moment. And that's what you need to understand when it comes to dealing with stress. It's either going to be in your control or it's not. There's a reason it happened to you. Maybe you were in that car accident to teach that other person how to drive, or whatever it is. You realize as you get older, as time goes by, but being in these situations are not permanent. The only time you feel like you're stuck in a situation is if you stay there. So if you get into a car accident and it's not your fault, maybe you needed to be in that car accident for you to realize how important life is. Maybe it was an eye opener for you. Or like I said, maybe it's because of other people. What we do is reflection of this world. But we cannot change the world if we don't make choices within ourselves. So in order for you to deal with stress, you have to understand that things are going to happen. Learn from what has happened to you. Apply what you've been through and come up with a solution. If you get fired from your job, what I needed to do was take time to myself. Like I said, sit with yourself, validate your emotions, grieve, right? That could take however long you need to. If it is not something that you can change immediately, like I said, okay, come up with the payment plan, come up with ways to get the help. If you are meant to do something and if you want to do something, I promise you help is going to come to you. Unless you are refusing to do something, there's no way that you won't be able to get help. There are people in this world who are going to help you. It may not seem like it because you may not be used to that or you're not in an environment where that is common. But I'm telling you, if you pray, if you go to God, ancestors, universe, or if you find and you Google solutions, like the same way you're on YouTube watching this video, is the same way you can find solutions and answers to what you're asking for. Or sometimes you have to be the solution to your problem. And that's going to be a separate video. You have to learn how to be the solutions to your problem because you may not have somebody to call to. You may not believe in God, ancestors, and universe. You may not have friends. You may not have the finances. You have to use your mind. That's one thing that you get for free is your brain. When you start applying yourself and in the moment, like I said, I'm speaking from experience. It takes practice. This is a skill. In the moment, yes, it seems challenging. Oh my God, I just got into a car accident. Oh my God, my car just broke down. Oh my God, my lights just turned off. Oh my God, I just got fired. Like nobody's invalidating your experience, but somebody who's been through trials and tribulations and who has overcame these situations, I could not allow that to be my life. Now, if that's what you want to be your life, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. These videos may not resonate with you, but for the people who want to move forward, there's opportunities. You have to know that there's options to your problems and that there's always going to be a solution if you want to solve them. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, this video resonates with you, give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you're interested in more videos like this, or if you want me to talk about something specifically. Make sure you're subscribed, turn on your post notification bells, follow me on all social media platforms. All the information will be down in the description box below. And if you want a one-on-one session, head to my website at tyguidancesummer.com. But there are solutions to your problems. You have to learn how to calm down. You have to ground yourself. You have to express yourself. You have to feel mad. You have to feel angry. You have to talk. You have to vent. You have to release. You cannot be embarrassed or ashamed to be vulnerable. It's not a weakness. The more you're able to talk about your problems, the more you're able to talk about how you feel, the more you're able to find solutions and grieve and exercise and release and transmute this negative energy into positivity, then you can start coming up with solutions. Then you can start finding problems. Then you can figure out a plan. So what are the positive sides in this situation? You learn, like I said, about yourself, others, and just life. And the plan and the solution of your car breaking down is calling your insurance, calling AAA, calling somebody to tow you, getting the money to pay for it, going to work to pay for it. Maybe you may get a claim depending on your type of insurance. Like, there are benefits and there's resources, but there are solutions to your problems. You have to be able to go through the situation, learn from it, and stop stressing yourself out. When you experience a problem, you need to sit with yourself and ask yourself, what can you do? What are you doing? And if you don't have control right now, to sit with yourself. As you sit with yourself and you take your time, when it's time for you to solve the solution, it will be solved.